Hello, and welcome to the Old Farm Bus Podcast. This is the back of the bus session.
Hello and welcome to the Old Farm Bus, back of the bus sessions. I was just on a little rant and then my logic started going mad on me. But I want to say I'm very excited about this guest today. I've been missing you, man.
Yeah.
I've not seen... Do you know what? We really don't connect enough because I know we've got a good vibe together.
Yeah.
We get on so well. We love the music thing together.
Yep.
We love the creative endeavours we go on.
Yeah, definitely.
But we just don't do enough together.
No, that's very true.
This podcast, we can have our chats, but then after this, we're going to get on the making and creating.
You know it.
So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Sean Day.
Hello there, everybody.
Woo!
Yeah, I'm excited for this one as well, mate, to be honest.
Post-production, I've got a little, crowd noise now. I'm so excited, so I'll pop that in. You're all there.
Oh, I can't wait to hear that one then. That's going to be great. Fantastic.
So, brother, again, the one thing I really do like about you is you've got just an energy and it's always of positivity. I don't know if you just show that to me and actually back home you're like, fuck life, fuck everything.
Bit of both, to be honest.
But every time I'm around you, I just feed off of that. I'm like, mate, please, just keep being you.
Bless you.
So how have you been in this crazy time? How has that affected your mental health and creativity?
I mean, creativity-wise, it's not been great. Like I said, I was saying earlier, everyone seems to have been like, writing, it's been really, really great since lockdown and it's been amazing. And I've been like, mate, I can't get anything down on paper. I don't even know what to think at the moment. But when it first started off, it was I was at my dad's and it was my dad and my dad's girlfriend who lived there as well. Mm-hmm. And then the day before lockdown happened, my brother and his girlfriend, and they've got a 2-year-old kid as well.
Right.
They moved back into my dad's just temporarily.
Wow, okay.
So yeah, they moved back in, and then the day after, lockdown kicks in. It was 6 people in this house. Oh no! So it was really, really oh no, man, this is going to be difficult. But I mean, now it's me and my girlfriend have moved in together, so we've got our own space, and I can get a studio set up and finally start going on.
Because I remember I called you, we spoke, and we were going to do the collaboration we're doing and stuff like that.
Yep.
Have you been accepted for a house then? Everything's sorted? Because I remember the day I spoke to you, it was no, it's all been...
Oh man, we must have searched through 7 or 8 flats just to get one. We got rejected 4 times.
I remember on the day you were like, oh, the guy was so nice. He was like, yeah, I love you too. You're awesome. And then you get a phone call. He's like, no, sorry.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Yeah.
We were broke.
Yeah. I felt betrayed, dude. Do you know what I mean? No, I mean, the reason we didn't get that one though is because the other person that went for it turned out to be a doctor. And it was I think the landlord was a doctor, and NHS, everything that's going on.
Yeah, man.
Give them a break. They deserve it. Do you know what I mean? So
you take my house.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah. You can't say anything against it, can you? Really?
100%, man.
So, but yeah, I mean, now we're all moved in. Everything's
Awesome.
Comfortable. Finally can get back on what we want to be doing.
So, have you lived on your own for long periods of time? Have you done this before?
Yeah, I mean, I've to be fair,
when did you move out? You're at home.
I moved out of my dad's for the first time with my ex-girlfriend, Gemma. Mm-hmm. And we lived together for a year and a half, 2 years.
Okay.
And then I've been in and out of my dad's constantly during my 20s, And then, I moved to Sheffield, and then was in 3 different houses in Sheffield over the course of...
What we do? Why 3 different ones?
It's just Sheffield, man. I swear to God, because everybody I know in Sheffield as well does the same. People just move constantly. I see it on Facebook all the time as well. People going, anybody know of a spare room going in Sheffield where I can go to? So it just seems to be a thing. But
Must be quite nice though, because I've done a lot of travelling.
Yeah.
I've been Aussie for a year and New Zealand and
I didn't know that.
Loads of places, man. Did years out. But again, it's hostels and things like that.
Yeah.
So you're always just moving and navigating and it's party scenes. But when it's back home and you're settling, I sometimes get itchy feet and I really miss that vibe of on the move. Mm-hmm. So to have that back home but be doing it, it's
It is, yeah. I mean, it was nice. It was really nice. Moving all the time is stressful. Because it's obviously if you're traveling, you've just got your bits and bobs that you have, and you're off.
I had my little mantelpiece the way I liked it.
And that's all you need. But moving wise, because you've got. I mean, I travel light. I don't have that much stuff. But even with the stuff that I have, it's moving's constantly annoying. Do you know what I mean? It's always I've got to move that thing, and I can't be arsed. But Yeah, I mean, it was nice to be able just to move around Sheffield and live in different areas because the city is amazing. It is a beautiful city.
It's probably literally one of my favourite places.
Yeah.
That and Nottingham. Nottingham's my scene.
Yeah?
Yeah, I just love the music scene, man. Like,
Yeah.
you know, the Nottingham heads, like Motormouth, Unknown Era, all them guys.
Yep.
For when I go out to perform or watch,
Yeah.
that's my scene. And then Sheffield, just the vibrant. I've been to a lot of raves.
Yeah,
I might have been out with you to a few raves, but
That's Sheffield all over there.
and it is like it's so accepting. People are just thriving. They're creative. It's a great hub, man.
Yeah.
It really is a vibe about it.
Oh,
when you're there.
definitely, mate. Yeah. There's a good scene in Sheffield. Like the rave scene is.
Yeah.
It's-
what is the main one people go to or will go?
What there's quite a few, to be honest. There's the Plot 22.
I want that one.
They do quite a lot. I mean, you more than likely went to an Off Me Nut rave.
There we go.
Yeah.
I've been to a few of them.
Yeah. They're the big one. They are really good.
Yeah,
They host. They have a thing. I think it's Peace in the Park.
Yeah.
They have that event, and then there's an after party called Peace in the Dark, and oh my god,
All the polarity.
There's so much. Like, it tends to be, it can be anywhere, to be fair, really. But like, I mean, I've been to a few of them, and like, yeah, there's just like different tents everywhere with like different sound systems and like different music. It's amazing. Like, really.
Do they
nice.
not mix the sound up and the noise, or have they like found a way of like sealing off the sound?
It tends to be like they're quite the distance away from each other.
Okay,
So as soon as like, don't get me wrong, like you can be at a point between the two where you're like, I can hear both. Like you can hear gabba and then reggae, and you're like, the two don't like collaborate whatsoever.
Yeah. I know where I'm going.
Yeah, but like as soon as you get into one tent, that you ain't hearing anything else. You know, like they're really, really nicely set up. Really good
Cool, man.
places.
Some incredible nights there. I mean, as time's gone on, I've chilled.
Me
I
as
don't know
well,
when
man.
the last rave I've been to, but I'm so happy I've experienced them days. To
Yes.
get to life, get to like 27 and a certain age, and you're like, right. And maybe like in a few years' time, like when one comes up and it's like, you know what, lads, let's just go. Let's see what it's like again.
If you have the one where you think, yeah, do you know what? I'm going just for the laugh.
Yeah.
I used to go every weekend. Now I can't do that, man. Not a chance. But I mean, the one problem that I find for the last like couple that I've been to, it isn't a problem with how it's organised or the rave in general, because they're always amazing.
Yeah.
It's the fact that I'm getting older.
Yeah.
But the crowd always stays the same. And I'm looking around me like, should I really be here at this point?
Now you've said that is so weird, because I always go and we're always the oldest people there now, and I'm like, but where are all the people when I used to go?
Yeah, innit? That were like 35.
Yeah.
They've disappeared now. It's like, I need you here to back me up now.
17-year-olds like, all right, granddad.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm that person now, aren't I? Like, where's it gone?
It's happened to us.
Yeah, it's insane, man. Like, really is.
You're saying, did you start out in Chesterfield then?
Yeah.
'Cause that's something I've always admired by you lot. Like, I've never had a friendship circle the way you do. Like,
do you think?
The Chesterfield lot, anyway. Are you part of like Gareth's crowd?
Yeah.
Big G and
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've got good friends. I've got cool people in Ripley that I'll go to the pub with and that. But
Yeah.
just some I watch from afar and I don't know the truth behind it, but I'm always like, they're like rock climbing or they go out and you're just always together.
And it's a nice group. I mean, don't get me wrong. We've had like our shit,
Yeah.
just like every other friendship group, and we're a friendship group as tight knit as us. You know, there's always going to be arguments and shit that happens. You know,
What they called gossip stories.
yeah, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But the fact is that if you get through it as a group, then you know that you know you're destined. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just to be together, and we all have such a good time together.
Was this from school? You were all same
Not
school?
really. No, actually, it was from.
How did it stop mingling?
It was the Chesterfield Town Hall. Like there was a.
Where all good stories come from.
Like there was this in Chesterfield. There's the town hall, and then there's like a monument. There's like a semicircle, and then there's like steps. When we all used to sit in the steps.
Yeah.
And it started off like way before we went there.
Right.
Like it was like literally probably 6-7 years before we started going. There was people going there.
Was it not like the Grebs and the
Oh yeah. But like there was a point where it all mixed into one,
Right.
And you had like literally you had like homeless people come up and chill with us,
Sad.
like, and then like, obviously all the skaters, which was me back then. I still skate, but you know, and like all the goths, and then you'd have like a couple of chavs that would come up that'd be really, really nice people nonetheless. And it was just a big mix. And then we all met there, and then sort of, you know, like as we've gone up, well, everyone's stopped going to town hall, obviously. I don't want to still be sitting in a semicircle when I'm 29 years old. Like, it's not happening. But like, you know, we all still see each other. Like literally where me and my girlfriend Ella have moved, there's like, it's in Spittal. So it's like just outside of Chesterfield, like literally a 2-minute walk away.
Oh, okay.
And it's like we live like in a block of flats, and then there's Katie, who lives 2 minutes down the road from us, then Gib and Boo, who live 3 minutes down the road from us, and then Gareth, Keir and Becky, who live like 5 minutes down the road from us. So and we've all got like walkie-talkies. Because we live like that far. You can just have walkie-talkies up to each other.
I'll tell you what, walkie-talkies have got good then. Like back in the day, like honestly, like if to the where that barn is now.
Yeah. They're like big like CB fucking things, like, you know.
I mean, you have got mobile phones now, you know.
But it's the novelty, Mikey. Do you know what I mean?
Back in day.
It's nice. It's fun.
Coming in, Sean. Coming in. Do you have like codes and stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, mate, well, come on. Oh, we're not allowed to know.
I can't remember what everyone else's code name is. I'm Soggy Biscuit.
Of course you are. I honestly don't want to know the story behind that.
There's not one. It was just thought it was funny.
For that.
I'm saving my grace by telling that. You know, like, yeah.
So, but were you going to like Chesterfield school and stuff? Where did you go to school?
Well, I grew up in Lower Pilsley, which is like 20-minute drive out of Chesterfield. It's like closer to here than Chesterfield.
Yeah.
And I went to like a school, like a primary school, literally down the road from me. And then went to a secondary school that was like a 10-minute walk away. So, you know, I had a choice, because I live between Chesterfield and Derby. I felt like I had a choice. I either go to Chesterfield and hang around, or I go to Derby and hang around.
Yeah.
And I've got to say, I hate to say this because I'm with you, but I hate Derby.
Mate, don't ever be ashamed of that. No. I get that a lot. Like I go to so many places, and everybody comes back. And again, it's experience, isn't it?
Well, that's it.
There's so many good people in Derby.
I don't deny it. I don't deny it.
There's also so many not.
Yeah, I don't think it's the people. Like I've been to Derby, and I've been to like sort of, you know, nights out in Derby and stuff. I've had a good time. I've had a great time.
Yeah.
But like, just like when I go in, like, I've been in the day a couple of times. I'm walking around and I look around. I'm just like, do you know what?
Yeah.
It's just not for me.
Yeah.
Like Chesterfield.
It's not got a thriving local cool communities, interesting, but you've got your Westfield now, and then everything outside of there sort of died a little bit. I think back in the day it wasn't too bad. There was some areas, the market was quite thriving. There was like really interesting little shops, and I remember going with Nan, and I love them days out, like coffee, charity shops. Oh mate, don't get me started. I'm gonna call her up now. Nan, I forgot. Like, Corona's over, let's go charity shopping.
We need to go now. But
again, like when I grew up a little bit and I started going out and trying the scene and things, I was like, oh, there's a lot of a pent-up aggression here, and people just like sticking to their cliques and things. And,
I mean, Chesterfield ain't much better, I've got to say. I mean, the thing is, Chesterfield's a growing town. It really is. There's a lot of building work going on, you know, a lot of projects, and it is a growing town. But there's the other side to it as well, where there is a lot, well, not a lot, but like a fair amount of homeless folk. And, you know, like, then you've got your people on the street who are, you know, just stroll around with cans of Kronenberg. Like, I can't say much, but, you know, just like...
I love that, like, you with the drink here, like, loads of piss. What's the time, Sean?
I couldn't tell you, to be honest. But let's not say that one.
I love it, man.
But yeah, and they just stroll around, and they just cause shit, you know, and there's no need. So Chesterfield has its own stuff, do you know what I mean? It's not perfect, but I'm glad that I went that way.
I mean, I'm Ripley, and I remember going out with my mate Jagger for a night out.
Yeah.
Sort of like all really excited, got my best on.
Oh, yeah.
I'd never been to Derby before, and we were like lads on the town. I think we've been in for about an hour, and then we were all walking down like the in-betweeners, because I've been in that sort of crowd that there were the football lads, so they were a little bit... I don't know, looked quite cool, but like we didn't know what to do with ourselves.
And
then we got confronted in Derby by these other set of lads, and they're like, "Where are you from?" And I was like, me being kind of nice guy, I was like, "Oh, just Ripley, mate." And like, "Fuck you!" And then it started ending up in like fisticuffs dead quick. Like everyone was like, "No, fuck you," and I was like, "Why are we arguing over where we're from in little villages?"
But I don't get it. It's like the school rivalry. Did you ever have it?
Yeah, man.
Like, we had it where like we had Tupton Hall, which was where I was, and then we had Dane Court, and they people used to like sneak out at lunchtime on both schools and fight each other. It's like, what's the point? Like, where are you going? Do you know what I mean?
Quite exciting though as well, wasn't it? I mean, I hate it.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't do that now, but back in the day, I remember being really ready for it as well. I don't know why.
I mean, can you imagine if you had that same attitude now? Like, with the bus, like, if you're going everywhere, like, you go down to somewhere, I don't know, like, say, somewhere south, and you're like, "You're from here. That's it, I don't like you," instantly. Like,
it's crazy.
You know, it's just such a...
It does happen.
It does. It's the unfortunate thing, innit? I don't understand it. Never will.
So, when you're meeting, like, Big G, Guy, and all these lots, like... Was that a sort of crowd that you'd already hung around with, or were you in a different scene and then you saw these and you're like, "Oh, hang on, this is cool"?
Well, it's a bit of both. Like, because I went to school with Gareth, and I went to school with Keir, and then a couple of others as well. And we just sort of went up to this town hall just for... I mean, I went up because there was skaters up there, and I wanted to meet some.
Are you still in the skating scene?
A little bit. I stopped for a while, and then like over the past 2 months, like me and a couple of friends have got back into it. But yeah, and then so like sort of my school, and then like the group that I'm with now, they're all massively integrated. Do you know what I mean? Like, so it's really nice how it's worked out, to be honest, because everyone's friends. It's not like I've got like a group of friends that are over here and then a group of friends that are over here. They're all everybody's just integrated together. Like, it's like when we all get together, it's always so fun.
And what was the moment that you became the rapper of the group then? Like, why did that come about?
Okay, rapping. Oh, this is a deep story.
Dive in, man. Dive in. Let's go.
Well, rapping came from when I was 22, something like that, 23. I was going through some serious stuff, man. Like, I was like losing like my mum when I was young. Like,
how old were you? Sorry, mate.
6.
Wow.
Yeah, like young. Yeah. And and like I'd buried it deep. Do you know what I mean? Like, there was something that I never dealt with. It was like, like I was like, "Oh, that's going deep down," and you ain't bringing that one back out.
Well, I mean, because I want you to go into exactly where you're going.
Yeah.
It's just like on a question to that, like. Were the people around you at the time helping you well? Like, were you being...
When I was young?
Yeah, like, I was working for a charity a while back, and it's called Winston's Wish.
Okay.
And they help children deal with, like, bereavement and the death.
Oh, that's really nice.
It's an amazing charity.
Yeah.
But, like, it was just talking about in schools, like, how hard it is for them to actually deal with these things. Like, the teachers don't really know what to do. Obviously the pupils don't know how to act, the family members, so they're trying to give support to all these people. How was your experience of that then?
I mean, I don't really remember like loads. I remember the day that they told me, like, clear. But I mean, my support network was quite. My uncle like was massive support at that point. Do you know what I mean? Like, my dad was a full-time policeman, and all of a sudden he's been left with 2 kids and a full-time job with no wife.
Wow.
And it's like, damn, like, you know. And so my auntie and my uncle were a massive support in that, and my dad did everything he possibly could. Like, no one could have done a better job. Do you know what I mean? Like, I sound like Donald Trump when I say that, but it's like, nobody could have done a better job. Like,
you sound very far from Donald Trump realm at the minute, mate. You're talking about something quite deep.
But yeah, and yeah, man, like, it was really. I don't remember receiving so much support within sort of the academic type of like side of things, or in general. But yeah, I mean, when I hit like the age of like 22, 23, all of a sudden I was like really like anxiety, like bad, like just depression, like tried to, you know, take my own life and all that sort of stuff. And I didn't understand what was happening to me, and it all come back up. Do you know what I mean? I was like, oh my God, like, this is so weird. And then they, like, the NHS put me into like CBT therapy, and
Is that a cognitive behavioural therapy?
That's it, yeah.
Okay.
And that didn't really work for me because it was like more organised, action-based therapy, and I just wanted someone to talk to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I ended up leaving that and then just booking a private therapist, which was the best move I ever made. And then at about 23, like going into 24, I was seeing a private therapist for like 8 months.
Wow.
And
okay.
Yeah, and
was she amazing from the start?
Honestly,
wow, okay.
like it was. I could not recommend it better.
Wow.
Like, it was just incredible. And
weekly sessions?
Yeah, once a week.
It's just what we're getting into now is just like men in particular talking about their mental health, like talking about like emotions.
Yeah,
you know, we're from these areas where it's like press it down, lads, press it down, press it down.
You know it.
And then that's why we are the highest rate of suicide, like between I think 18 to 40.
It's just general sort of that age, isn't it?
More than cancer, more than heart attacks, more than anything else.
Yep.
It's people choosing to opt out. I've got a story there too, man, of like literally typing on the internet like easiest ways to die.
Yeah.
And then I found psychedelics from that, but I'll get onto that later. But,
that's a whole other
that was into Reddit. But it's so important that we learn how to process things and not repress them. And to hear where you're going with this is I didn't know this side of you, man. Like, again, I just know, like, I really like Sean. I like his attitude. But it all seems to always come from them people that I meet have been through such a journey and through such experience.
There's always a way that you get to this. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and it's 9 times out of 10, it's through hard times.
Yeah.
You know, through stuff that's happened to you. And I mean, when I came out of therapy, like it was like new. But the thing is that back to where we were, like getting into rapping.
Yeah.
Like she suggested that you should write down your thoughts on a daily basis, sort of thing, which is quite weird because it's almost like the CBT therapy that I was offered in the first place.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, that the way that obviously just talking to her helped me anyway. But like, and I was like, okay, I'll try that. And then I started like writing down, and then like I've listened to hip hop since I was 14 years old, and then. They just started turning into like little sort of poems and then like little raps, and then before you know it was like, oh yeah, I like doing this. And then
is where I'm at.
Yeah, and then I just kept on going with it. Do you know what I mean?
So you first start writing out like a conscious stream of thought, just anything you could write down, just got it on paper,
basically,
and then you start handpicking. Oh, this works here, and then it came into like couplets, I'm guessing, or rhyming, and processing it that way.
Basically, pretty much. Just sat like literally like there was like she had like a little like hut. It was like really peaceful.
Oh, wow.
Where she did her therapy sessions.
Yeah.
And then it was in Wingworth, and then there was like it's called Smithy Pond, not Smithy Pond. I can't remember what it's called now, but it was like a pond. And then I just literally used to walk over, sit by the pond, like after my session, and just write.
Mate,
for like 3 or 4 hours. Do you know what I mean?
What do you keep in touch with this woman still? Do you know what she's on with?
I'd love to, but we're not. It's not really a lot. It's weird. You know, I think it's like a grey area of the a therapist. I'm not sure if you're allowed to or not.
Right. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
probably contractually got like certain degree. Yeah.
It's like I'm not allowed to I'm not allowed to recommend a family member to her because it's more of a conflict of interest sort of thing.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, so I don't know if...
Did you have to pay for this?
It was private, so yeah.
For 8 years, was it?
No, 8 months.
8
8 years?
Come on, man. Yeah,
I'd still be doing it now, mate.
Serious routing to do. Yeah, 8 months is what I meant.
Yeah.
And like... what's the starting process like? Is she just talking to you on a level, understanding who you are, and then suddenly it starts to like dip into details?
Basically, it's like she sort of, like the first session you just sort of have a chat and you get to know each other a little bit, just to make it comfortable, because when you first go in there, I didn't know what it was going to be like. I just know that I needed something to change. So you just have a bit of a talk, and then the rest of it, you just feel like you're having a normal conversation. But then all of a sudden, it's like she hits you with something and you're like...
hang on a minute. You're on to something here. Say that again.
Yeah. Woo! Yeah. You're like, okay. I see where you're going with this.
Wow,
so,
okay.
I mean, you can tell that...
So is their job, like, again, letting you talk, letting you, like, discover yourself?
Yeah.
but then also just asking you penetrating.
Yeah, that's the one.
I love that word as well. Them sort of questions, but then also giving you a little bit of like, maybe you felt this, but maybe you felt that.
Yes.
Have you thought, okay?
Yeah, but yeah. It's basically it's really, really interesting the way they do it, because it's never like sort of slap in the face obvious.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? It's really like
let you discover.
Yeah, and it's beautiful the way it works.
I'd been trying to go to some, but I had similar experiences to you at the start, CBT and things.
Yeah.
And I went to this one woman. It was really quite spiritual, and I wasn't that way inclined.
Right.
And again, we just didn't fit. We didn't.
Yeah.
Like, I suppose it's got to be a really like genuine experience together. You've got to feel each other's vibe and be like, you're really trying to help me here.
Exactly.
But a lot of the time, I don't know. I felt. It just didn't gel.
If it don't click with you, then there's not much point. In a sense, do you know what I mean?
I think there's so much to get out of therapy. I think everybody's got a story. Everybody's got something they've felt discomfort in their lives, whatever it's been. And childhood's such a formative moment of like who you are now.
Well, you're a sponge at that point. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you take in everything,
Yeah.
and there's more than likely going to be something that's going to come that's going to affect you in some way, whether you see it or not.
How did it impact your dad? Did he change quite drastically or dramatically, or did he just go into like?
I didn't see it in a way like when I was a kid, but like I see it now because like. In all fairness, me and my brother Stephen, we've not been the easiest of children.
Yeah.
Like, especially me. Like,
Jesus.
I was I weren't great.
Yeah.
But like now, like he's still, constantly worrying. And he has his reasons too. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's fair enough, but he's still a worrier with it. And he told me like he'd probably kill me if I say this on like, but like. He told me that like he still feels guilty. Like, this was a couple of months ago. Like he still feels guilty about what happened.
Right.
Like, and I'm like, but why? Like it's not your fault. Do you know what I mean?
He's like going to be carrying that forevermore.
Exactly. Yeah. So in ways it has changed him. My dad's still someone that very sort of tough up in a way. Do you know? Like it's never been like that with us. But like. He's with it with himself. Do you know what I mean?
So was the household, you got a brother and your dad?
Yeah.
Is it like, was it a very masculine household then? Like, were they them like, come on, let's toughen up, lads, sort of attitudes?
I think it was just a more of it wasn't a toughen up, it was just never really spoken about.
Yeah.
Do you know, which is fair enough.
Yeah.
When something like that happens, like, you can't. There's no right or wrong way to go about it. Like how you go about it is how you go about it, because you're out of control at that point. Do you know what I mean? Like you can't control this situation because it's megally like bad. Like So like
how would you act in school? Like how? Like,
oh man, I fucked up in school bad.
were you getting in fights? Were you sort of like?
I was never one for fighting. It was just drugs, man.
Yeah.
Like,
we all played that game, baby.
Like 15 years old. That's when the weed started. And the thing is, even now, I still smoke a bit of weed.
Let me just pop this baby back on. Sorry, dude.
Oh,
runs out. There he is.
That's all right. There we go. But but it was never like me causing harm to other people or like trying to start on other people.
Yeah.
It was just me completely ignoring the fact that I getting to the age of 16, 17, I had responsibility. And just thinking, nah, I ain't dealing with that. Like school, I flogged it massively. I got 1 C. That's that's as good as it got. Like
better than me though, you kid.
But but then again, that was a pattern that gone through in my adult life. I found myself in serious shit just for the fact that I ignored situations that were happening to me. Whereas now it's different.
Yeah.
But throughout the age till about 26, 27, it's always the same.
Just finding a way to process it. And again, with the podcast, like I always wanted to do a podcast just because like I learnt so much from others, like the Russell Brand one, the Joe Rogan one we spoke about. There's so many. Andy Frisella's a good one. I don't know if you know him.
I do not.
So cool, man.
All right.
But again, people are asking me like, what you're going to talk about, where you're going to go, what direction. And I spoke to some people like, oh, you shouldn't really talk drugs though, or talk this or talk that. And I was like, but these are like from all my friends, all the people I integrate with, hang around with, know, and younger people that I've worked with, drugs is the story that just keeps. It's the sung tune that everybody knows.
It is.
Everybody keeps aligning themselves with, oh yeah, I had really tricky times. Hit the drugs.
Yep.
Tricky time. And I want the podcast to be a place where people recognise that these are the truths. These are the honest stories.
Exactly.
And people can learn from this. I always picture like a mini Mikey now, because when I discovered like the psychedelic world and hit then the psychosis, paranoia, extreme paranoia, I thought my grandma was trying to kill me. Honestly,
my
like,
man,
I had
really?
Have you seen
Bless
Shutter
you.
Island?
Yeah, man. With
And
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, mate, what a film. But like, and Truman Show.
Yeah.
I went through them two things, but
mate.
not knowing what they were, and I watched the films after having it, and I was like, "Motherfucker, everyone should have told me about this." But again, it's such an important truth to people to understand. Is like these stories are integral to other people's growth and your own, like to being accepting of it. So when people mention drugs now, I'm like, smash it, man! Just tell us like all the pain that you experienced, all the like wrong moves you made, talk about them openly.
Exactly.
And Mini Sean, Mini Mikey will be listening to this and be like, you know what, lads? You're going to be all right. You're going to get there.
Well, that's it. I mean, you can't hide away from the topic. Like, it's like what we were saying earlier with like the suicide rate within like men.
Yeah.
The fact, like, one of the reasons that it's that high is because you shy away from the topic of talking about it.
Yeah.
Like, it's the same with drugs. Drugs, whether you like it or not, they're an integral part of society at this point. Like, they really are. Like, everybody does them.
Business.
Like, that's not known of.
I love you.
But, like, you can't shy away from a topic that is so strong. Like, it's there.
Yeah.
You know?
So, in the sessions you were going in, was it anger that was particular in you and the anxiety particular? What was the thing like you were really like, I need to fix this? Or was it just a whole, right, you know what, I need to change everything?
Yeah,
this is a complete change around.
A mixture of both, to be honest. Like, it was like, I need to be able to do a big change here. Like, there's a lot of my life that needs to change
in order to function.
Just in general. But as well as I had anger within me for the fact that I didn't have the same upbringing or opportunity that other people had due to the fact that they had a second parent going. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was like a mixture of both. Like, it's everything. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's weird. Like, I was thinking about it. Like as much as I hate to say it, like, a mother and a father, they play different roles, right?
Yeah,
like,
completely.
And there's not a very rare chance, like, in these situations where a father or a mother, for that fact, can step up and go, right, I'm doing both. Like, it doesn't happen. So there's certain aspects that you're missing from your upbringing because you're missing an integral part of that upbringing.
Like the nurturing aspect,
exactly,
the loving aspect of things.
It was quite interesting, to be fair, because I had a friend like called Ash Kent, or Fester as it was otherwise known, in school. God rest his
image of him in my head right now.
I mean, unfortunately, I found out I've not spoken to him in a few years, but I found out a couple of months ago he died.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not sure how, but his dad passed away when he was about my age, about 6.
Wow, so you had somebody to...
Yeah, but the difference between us two in school was very interesting. I was sort of really quiet, down, like, wouldn't talk to anyone, shied away from everything, whereas Ash was the complete opposite of me. Yeah. I don't know if it's just me placing a link between the two and thinking that's it, but the fact that he lost his father and I lost my mother, and the difference between our two personalities as children was huge.
Very interesting, mate.
So,
fascinating.
Yeah, so the fact that, when you miss that part of it, you miss that integral part of your upbringing, you're missing something throughout the rest of your life, in a sense.
Yeah, evolutionary speaking. Yeah. Like, we're thinking of evolution now, like, you've got the roles of, the hunter-gatherer, the man-style stuff, and we're monkey see, monkey do, learning from that, and we've got them emotions we're learning. There's so much we're learning from, and then seeing the mothering aspect and the nurtured side, the loving side, the kind side, all those sides, and to have that taken away and have to, at 6 years old, 7 years old, make it up for yourself, learn it, adapt it, not have these figures in your life. It must have just been so fucking confusing, mate.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but you don't realise it because you're only young.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't know what's going on. Like, but obviously me where I am now, I can look back and go, do you know what? Like, yeah.
I mean, the reason I wanted therapy, there's moments in my life I've got. And again, my mum and dad have stayed together.
Yeah.
But I've got a really calm, relaxed dad. Like, honestly, man, he's so chill. You've never seen anything like it. You're like, you're right, mate. You're like, has he just like had 10 spliffs or something? Like, what's happened to that fella? But he's so relaxed. And then my mum, who literally has said multiple times, and I don't disrespect her for this, but she's always said, I never wanted a kid. I told your dad I had you for him because he wanted one, but I was his to look after.
Right.
So she's always said, like, I hate kids. I'd never wanted a kid. And again, you can tell, like, she's built an empire up. She's got a business. She's got a farm. She's got her acres of land. She's done everything she wanted to do.
Yeah.
But I never had that nurtured love inside, really. And she'd openly say that, like, yeah, don't like kids. Like, leave it out. I did it for him. But I had, again, repercussions from that. And again, not to the extent of where I'd lost somebody.
Yeah.
But I definitely felt it in my psyche, in who I am today.
Yeah.
I really struggle with love. I really struggle with opening up to people.
Yeah.
And, you know, it has hit me in many ways, quite negative ways, really.
Oh, yeah,
to
definitely.
function in this society.
Oh, man, it can be difficult. I mean, like before I went up for all this, I remember, like, I used to, like, say, I don't know, like, I was seeing a girl or something, or whatever, you know, like, girls would be, like, something I'd really struggle with, because I grew up without, you know, one in my life, like, so when it came to me being, like, you know, a 15, 16-year-old teenager trying to get jiggy and stuff. Like, I don't even know how to talk to girls. Like, this is really, really hard. Like, I'd really struggle with it. But then, like, when I finally got over the hurdle and I could actually start, you know, like, you know, making moves, right? Girls would be like, oh, you know, what you thinking and stuff like this, or, you know, like trying to talk to me on a deeper level.
Yeah,
and I'd just be a blank fucking I'd be like,
interesting.
Like, no idea.
Because I think I was a bit the other way, actually, because I got quite badly bullied. So when I felt depressed as a kid, I ate and I got fat.
Right.
But then girls would never go near you.
Yeah.
And then when I lost lots of weight and I looked okay and a girl would, like, that was it. We would latch on then. And I was like, I love you so much, to be my one forever. And I had a really unhealthy obsession in women then. And that become quite, again, and it's gone on to my life.
Yeah.
And that's something I've learned, my partner's learned, we've learned, we talk about, we're open with, and it's given me a much better understanding and mental capacity now. Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I was the exact same. Like, when I finally got over the hurdle of actually being able to talk to girls, like, when it got to, like, I wouldn't be able to open up, but, like, when it come to the point of, I'm breaking up with you, I'd be like, no, and I feel like my life was ending. I'd be like, what? And it all stemmed back to, like, in my opinion anyway, people can try and, you know, go against this, but, like, it all stemmed back to me losing my mum. Like, it'd be a natural thing of, I've lost my mum, and then before you know it, I'd be seeing a girl, and then that girl went, and then I'd feel the exact, well, maybe not the exact same, but a similar pain to when I lost my mum.
I know exactly what you're saying.
And then finally being able to get over that, I actually managed to have a healthy breakup. Finally, do you know what I mean? Like, and it was insane. Probably
the people we are today, man, like, we are linking and connecting over something quite similar in its essence. I'm not comparing, because, like, you're to lose a parent, it's a completely different attitude.
But, like, the things that you experience within are the same.
Yeah, and the lack of what we didn't get, we're talking about, I suppose, like that side. Like, I'm thinking about friends that have had relationship breakups and relationships and got over it really quickly, or been fine, or chill.
Piss me off, man.
I know that all my mates did, and one guy in particular, I'm thinking of now, my best mate. But you look at his family, and it is the beautiful archetypal, his mum, tea ready, loving, like, and again, but I don't envy it. I'm really happy he's got it.
Yeah, of course.
But you start to psychoanalyze, don't you? You start to work patterns out in the universe, how people are. And I do think what you're talking about there, and you're like, people can go against this. I wouldn't. I really agree with what you're saying, and I can vouch for it, because to a micro scale, I've had what you've had with the lack of something.
Exactly.
And I get what you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, you know, now when you get over it, it's the biggest relief in the world. Do you know what I mean?
And thank God, man, you found writing and a cathartic tool. Like, so we'll get back into that.
Mate, that's saved my life. I swear to God. Yeah, man, it's like, because I don't, Like, I figured out that I have no idea how I feel until I write it down on paper. Yeah. And then, like, I'll get a song out and I'll go, oh, yeah.
That's what I meant. You know what I mean?
Yeah, oh yeah, I remember this because I feel like shit. And this song definitely represents that right now.
You can feel it in your music, though, man. Like I was saying before, I've got lots of friends in the game, lots of friends done music. And sometimes you talk to them and I'm like, have you, like the song you wrote about or them lyrics, have you actually been through that, or have you just tried to portray it from something you heard because it sounded cool? And they'll openly go, yeah, to be honest, that's not my story.
Yeah, it was a bit more inspired rather than And
with you, I listen to your stuff and I'm like, I don't know, I vibe with it. I feel you're always being honest. You're always being you within your lyric. Like the first thing you wrote then with that therapist, was it about your mum? Was it? Yeah, that was the first thing you ever wrote?
Yeah.
Wow. You still got it? Oh, yeah. I thought you were going to back pocket it. Like, here we go.
No, I mean, it's probably still in a...
wow.
I've got like a stack of notebooks somewhere. They're somewhere in the move, because obviously we just moved house. But... they're probably somewhere in there. But I like looking back on writing, but at the same time, sometimes looking, I think... you let yourself write that?
Mate, don't get me started. I've got mine all up in a little box, and I looked through literally the other day.
Yeah.
I can't remember why. Me and Chrissy were just like going through our memory box together.
All that,
Oh, look, my poems. I went through and I was just like, oh. No. Again, because I never... got into music really late. Mine was through the loss of a friend.
Yeah.
Knife crime incident. That's where
mate,
the knife
I'm sorry
crime
to hear
came
that.
from. But yeah, again, we've all been through these moments and discovered a cathartic way of dealing with it. And it was so important to me to go back through all my history. But then I'd never been given I didn't pay attention in school at all. I hated school with passion. Got kicked out of English eventually with only a certificate to tell me I'm dyslexic. That was all I knew. I was like, cheers, guys. You've really left me on here. And no way of coping with it.
That
it was
is
just like,
ruthless.
oh, he's dyslexic, but he can't keep coming back in English. He's just too disruptive. It's like he clearly needs help in this element of his life.
Yeah.
And your way is just ban him from it.
Well,
it was so strange.
How does that even... that's just
so strange.
How can a school do that? They're meant to fucking teach
They were
you.
not a good school. I've said this many times in the podcast. Like, this school was really letting me down.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have felt the same way. I probably let it down, but I'm there to learn.
Of course you are. You know what I mean? Like,
take the reins, guys.
Exactly.
Give me a reason to engage. Give me a reason to want to be here.
And just lead.
Yeah,
if anything, you know. I mean, the thing, my school was pretty good. I've got to say, I failed that, to be honest. More than anything. Like, we did have decent teachers, but it's just I wasn't bothered, man. Do you know? I couldn't be arsed, to be honest. So.
And when I did find it late on though, I'd not had any ideas of even rhyming couplets or any. I knew what a rhyme was. I knew dog and oh shit, what rhymes with dog?
Spin it round backwards. You've got God. There
you go. But again, I kept coming up with ways. I was I'm writing stuff down.
Yeah.
It was just coming out as verbal diarrhea.
Yeah.
And then I work it out, and I was like, oh, this looks like something. But I thought I'd made up something new, and I was like, oh no, this has existed all the time. Even inner rhymes and things like that. I was like, oh my god, big discovery. I bet no one's done that before.
Oh, believe me.
And there's a lot.
There's yeah. I mean, I used to think it was rhyme patterns. I used to be like, is that a new one?
Yeah.
is it fuck? It's far from it.
I think naivety going into music's quite good though. I think it gives you a lot of leverage of you can try new things out and not feel too silly because you'll
definitely.
give it a go.
Yeah.
It's good to know things, it's good to learn, it's good to educate yourself.
Yeah.
But if you're going with a bit of a naive mind, you're willing... I mean, I would never, now looking at what we were talking about, the old stuff that I wrote, I would never have got up on a stage in my life if I'd have thought, oh, this is so simplistic.
Yeah, it's all been done before.
Yeah, this is daft. I'm going to get up there and go, it can happen, you don't have to feel this lost sensation. You can become real. And do you know what I mean? This is like a child's TV game show. But again, I had my own vibe to it. I had my
of course,
way
exactly.
Of
the thing is,
doing that.
It doesn't have to be difficult. It's just if it's your own and you know what you want to do with it. Like, one of my favourite ever tracks is done by a bloke, Homeboy Sandman.
Yeah.
It's called Not Really.
Yeah.
And it's the simplest song you will ever listen to. But the way he does it is just that good.
Same with Scroobius Pip. Like, I love Scroobius Pip and Mike Skinner or quite a lot of spoken word artists, actually. I was like looking then through their lyrics on Genius and that. But it's like, they're pretty clean rhyming patterns, actually.
Yeah.
I was always like, oh no, it's going too simple now, too obvious. And what does Scroobius Pip do? Because he's done all right. Oh shit, like that is for like back, sack, crack, black, mac, and I'm like,
it's all about you. It's just, in a sense,
Style,
it's presentation,
delivery.
Style, delivery, all that. Like,
Man.
it's just that's how it is. Like, obviously, if you listen to like, obviously like Talib Kweli, like you're like,
okay, man,
mind blown sort of thing.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, then again, there's just so many like rappers that or spoken word, whatever that. It's a very simplistic way of doing it, but it doesn't matter because if it resonates with your audience.
Again, that's a kind of my favourite message that I've had from people, or bit of constructive criticism to somebody, my dad as well. Like, when I tried to go over the top and metaphorical, he said, actually, I really liked it when I knew what you're on about, mate. And he goes, I'd never liked poetry, I hate rap, but I love what you do. And I bet you've had that before. Like,
I've had it a little bit, to be honest. I mean, with me, I try to, I don't know, like, especially lately, like, I'm trying to find a thin line, like trying to walk along a thin line between the two. Like, between like simplicity, but then being able to sort of fit in like sort of your wordplay and your metaphor, and
I think it's knowing your audience, isn't it? It's knowing
in
who
a sense
addressing.
I mean, starting out new, I don't even know my audience yet, so it's going to be an interesting start.
I think for my poetry style stuff and my book, I look back through stuff like that, but I'm really proud of it. But it's because it speaks to me nan, it speaks to me dad, it speaks to the people that aren't in on that ride. But now I've learned about poetry and about techniques and about things, I can look at that and think, oh, how could I incorporate this to speak to a more poetic audience or this sort of crowd? And it's good to open it, like David Bowie or somebody. How many different things, how many different genres has he touched? How many different ways has he delivered?
Exactly.
And you can have your simplicity, you can speak to these guys and then jump over here.
Of course you can.
To have that in
your
repertoire.
I mean? Yeah, definitely. I mean, like, I noticed quite a big difference within songs that I've been writing lately. There's like some, like, I feel that is a lot more on a storytelling vibe, and then other ones are more of a conscious sort of like society-driven sort of way, you know, and like like the difference between the two within rhyme patterns and it it's big. But it doesn't, just because you've got one style doesn't mean to say that you need to stick to it. Like, it's creativity. You do whatever the fuck you want.
It's great when you finally realise you've stuck to a pattern or a formula for so long, though, innit? And
Yeah.
Oh, it's all the same. and that pushes you out the box then, though. You've got to, again, with anxiety, with depression, with anything you're going through, the first stage is realising it. So as soon as you accept it, as soon as you're not too like in your ego and like, oh, this is who I am, this is how I am, it's like, right, accept that you've been that way, that's perfect, and then start stepping and knowing that you've got that in your repertoire at any point.
Exactly.
Go to it.
Exactly.
I mean, that's why I love collaborating. I love what we're going to make a song after this and stuff. But you really do learn from other people. You really get such on somebody else's vibe and hear their story and hear their sort of formula and start to incorporate bits that you like.
I mean, when the last time I came here was when you had Stingray and the Jet.
That was power.
And that did a bit of a jam with them. And like, those guys are just amazing. And then they sent me a beat through in lockdown.
Sick.
A lot more faster than what I'm used to, sort of thing. And I was like, right, I'm writing to this nonetheless. And then I managed to get something to it. And I was like, it was actually pretty decent.
Yeah,
and it was not normally where I go. But like, being able to sort of think, those guys have sent me that through, and I love them. They were amazing, and then what they sent through was just so good. And then writing something completely different to what I'm used to.
Was it the lockdown vibe one?
I think it must have been.
I'm on it with you, man.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm on a little breakdown bit with it. It's coming out. It is coming out. Jack was on yesterday, but he's just had a baby. The lead guy of it.
The guitar with the beard.
Yeah. He came on yesterday with Arlo, his little baby. Sat on there, and Arlo got a bit camera shy, so we're like, right, chuck you in the back. but yeah, we're definitely, that's going to be something that's going to accumulate. I've heard it now. I know what you're talking about, and you do sound sick.
That beat was amazing, to be fair.
It was wicked.
I still want to do some stuff with them. Like, those guys are
mate, they're incredible.
Yeah.
And I think, like, Jack's got little bits on at the minute that he's doing solo work, and you've got Stingray and the J, and it's just all moving like that. I love watching my mates that you align, don't you, for a bit? You have that moment, and then you see them go on their paths and their journeys, but it inspires me just seeing everybody moving.
Oh yeah, definitely. No, it's a look. I mean, I used to actually, like, in all honesty, I used to be a bit sort of envious in a way.
No, I know what you're saying,
like if I'm, and it was like, oh, look at what they're doing. I ain't doing shit.
Yeah.
Like, God damn.
Man.
And I felt like that over lockdown as well, because I've not been able to sort of do anything. My work went away and but like now it's now everything's obviously, I moved house, studio's up and running soon, and I can finally start. Like, I'm really looking forward to sort of what the end of this year brings.
In terms of, like, again, what we were talking about before, like natural human emotion through evolutionary speaking, like envy is one of the greatest emotions you can go through. Like, envy really does make you want to do better.
Definitely.
It's repress it. When you repress it, and I've done it before, and a lot of my friends have done it, and it turns you ugly as fuck.
Oh yeah, it's like jealousy. It's the same.
As soon as it turns to jealousy, as soon as you let it shift pattern, that becomes and it doesn't benefit you, it doesn't benefit them, it's just poisonous.
Yep.
And we've all been there, we've all tasted it, because it's the creative scene and sector, and we all want to achieve, and can be problematic. But again, when you play with it and it's like, oh, I'm envious, but the reason I'm envious is because I want to achieve, and the way of me achieving, I can message that person. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, when people start aligning in that side of themselves, feeling it and moving with that, I think so much more could be done. Much more.
Definitely. It just depends on how you deal with the
Value
emotion.
it,
like fucking, like you say, if you think it's an ugly emotion, I will say it. I don't like envy. Like, it makes me feel.
I think you're talking of jealousy, though. I really do.
You probably are right, to be honest.
I watched a little 2-minute video the other day, and it was talking about the 5 natural emotions, and left repressed, they all turn to this. So, like, anger, natural.
Yep.
Anger turns to rage.
Yep.
Love, natural. Love repressed turns to possessiveness.
Yep.
And it was really interesting. Again, they're all the ones that we all have inside. So when you think yourself being weird because you feel a certain way, it's like, no, you're human.
Exactly.
Everybody feels this. They just don't vocalize it. Like, you're just a respectful person that, like, wants to vocalize it. But most people feel it. And again, repressing, like you probably spoke about in your therapy sessions. Yeah. Not speaking about it, not being open about it, pretending it doesn't exist. That's when it turns ugly, and all these sort of ugly side emotions come through. Yeah, you're more than likely all right, to be honest. Yeah. I know I am. No, I mean, you're like, in a sense, when I see, I love seeing other people succeed and like push forward. Yeah, it's what it's all about. Do you know what I mean? I think within the music scene can be a very beautiful thing, but a very ugly thing at the same time. As scenes are. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You know, but like the fact is that if it's everyone that wants to push forward, then that makes it beautiful. It's I don't know what it is about the music scene, but from my experience, I know what you're sort of talking about. Yeah, there's summit. Yeah, there's just a lot of tenacity there. Yeah. I think it's probably because that there's such a small scale of people that actually do make it, and because everybody wants to get to the top of that tower. Yeah, it can be quite aggressive, like a big rat race to fucking win. Yeah. And it's just I don't know. Like, I mean, with me, like, my intention is to never ever get to, you know what I mean? Like, I just your passion. Exactly. I've got a job that I enjoy doing. Like, and music's something that I like. I think what you got to do, man, is keep aligning yourself with those hearts, those heads that are seeing music as a passion project. Yeah. The one, like, you've probably experienced it before, and I don't know who, but like, there's probably moments you've had those trying to make it guys in your life, or girls, or whatever. Yeah. And that can really impact your way of being, because you're seeing that and you're like, I should be doing that. Yeah. But actually, when you align yourself with the Stingray and the Jayers, or the Motor Mouths, or just the people that are really on a level of, do you know what, I just fucking love it. I just love doing it. I actually that there's no greater buzz in life sitting down and being like, fuck, I've got an idea. Where's the pen and paper?
Yeah.
Put a beat on, start writing. I've got this feeling emerge. This could be a film. Do you know what I mean? You're just running with that energy.
Yeah.
And it's the truth. That's the reason we all started.
Exactly.
But then, if you want to find a problem of any problem, just find the money. Where the money runs to, that's the heart of it. There's your problem.
Yeah.
I think that's when it turns ugly in my eyes.
Yeah.
Man.
And you don't
Honestly.
need it.
Yeah.
You do not need that in your life. Do you know what I mean? Like, the fact is that you all get into this creative thing because, for one, in my opinion, it helps you.
Yeah.
You know, it helps you be able to understand why you're feeling this way, or how you're feeling, or who you are, or what your place is in society, or whatever.
Yeah.
And two, it's just a general love that you do.
Yeah.
You know, like whatever. But when it becomes, it can jump over the line to it's almost obsessiveness to the fact of, I want this now, and if I don't get it, then that, you know, like, that's me over.
Trust
like,
me,
it's
man,
like, no.
I felt like, again, look at, I've got some buses now, and
You have, yeah.
I've got a business, and I've got the cameras to film people and X, Y, and Z. And trust me, I felt the monetizing things stressing, like going to schools and things like that.
Yeah.
So the moment I've gone, right, no, Mikey, put the music thing aside for you and your enjoyment, because that's why you fell into it.
Yeah.
And then the business side, you're going to go through the bad days. You're going to go through I need to make the money. I need to get this.
That's business.
It's business.
Yeah.
You've got to detach a little for me. And I maybe I'm speaking from a very lucky side that I can do that now. Like, I feel comfortable in life. I've got a family starting, things like that, where I'm like, I get to just appreciate this thing that I loved at the start. And I felt it in Friends, where they felt like we all felt the love together. We felt like we were going into this creative endeavour and enjoying it. And then as soon as, like, they sniffed the money, or they felt the touch of, like, we could get here, it was like, hang on, we all hate each other now. What happened? It just doesn't make sense. So something as beautiful as creativity, as music, it's hard when you're monetizing it and bringing that into the equation.
Yeah, it can change rapidly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's either that, or the thing is, like, it might not be a rapid change, it might be a slow burner, but like, it happens and you don't really see it. Do you know what I mean? When I experienced it, and I didn't see it, but it does happen slowly. And you can't. It's very easy to lose sight of why you started doing something.
Yeah, that's the key, man. That's literally what you just said then.
Yeah.
Don't lose sight of why you picked up the pen.
Exactly. Always remember why. Obviously for me it was.
You go.
What it was. I did it because to help myself, because I was going through some serious shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Say exact same with me.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Like, you can't lose sight of that.
In all real, I spoke about it, but like, as soon as I put something online and there was like a few, like, I was on the days of Facebook when Facebook was thriving. Facebook was good fun and people would hop on board.
Yeah.
Now it's gone a bit saturated and weird. I don't know what's happened there.
I've deleted the app.
I was getting game over with me for Facebook, I think. I'm using everything as a promotional tool now for the business and whatnot. I schedule posts, fling them on.
You don't scroll.
No, man,
there's
gone.
no need. There's no need.
Back in the day when I just started, I put some up and it could get to like maybe 15,000, 20,000 views.
Yeah.
And that's an unfathomable number for somebody like me.
Well, like, I mean, when we did it, it was like, we had like videos that were hit. We had one that hit. It was 12,000.
Yeah,
it was our most viewed thing.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, actually, like, I was sat in my garden, I was like, imagine trying to fill 12,000 people.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many.
It's amazing.
It's insane.
Like, when we were into it, like when I'd started maybe 5 years ago and seeing that sort of number and going and telling my dad, and my dad's like, what, really?
That's amazing. Yeah.
Like, it was sort of ego-based, really, then. I was building up like this, looking at figures and looking at numbers, and I was like, right, I need to create for that.
Yeah.
That put the pressure on.
Yeah.
And I started building the art then from like a completely disingenuous place. It wasn't an honest place in my mind, and I felt that start to emerge. So the moment I took a break and I was like, shit, I lost that love for it. I lost that feeling towards it.
Yep.
And then when it was like something dramatic happened in my life again, oh shit, what do I do? How do I like deal with this?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've got writing. The one thing I never had before, the one thing I was told I was shit at and you're dyslexic and you shouldn't do. It was like, oh, it saved me. And I went back and I was like, nah, fuck the views, fuck the people, fuck it. Like, not the people. I love you for watching and being nice, but forget all that.
Yeah.
And start to just go back to what exactly you said.
Well, that's it. You know, when you watch all these films about sort of like, you know, like sort of like celebrities sort of going mad and all, you know, this, and even from a small scale that we was at compared to, you can completely understand why that shit happens.
The tiny little bird, you get the little okay,
it's like when
run around.
When we did gigs, you know, like gigs like everywhere.
Mate, tell just the audience, like, what's your biggest gig? Who are you playing? Supporting? This is big.
Yeah, we supported KRS-One.
Woo!
Mate. It was great. With that, I mean, that's the thing, man. With that gig, like, the gig was amazing. Yeah. Like, you've never been on a stage with so much room. Like, it was, I love, like, when you're on, I love on stage, like, just like, quite a lot of the time it's very close knit. Yeah. So you don't have much room because you've got obviously fucking all your cables everywhere, mic stands, you know. Like, there's normally a drum kit that you're not using for the next band that's about to turn
and
up.
Every time you like stand on stage, it's like, like, right, it's got to start going to beat now when I walk.
Exactly. But with that, mate, you could run for miles. It was great, and that was definitely the best experience.
Were people bobbing along with you?
Like, our end song has always been like crowd involvement. Yeah, you know.
Is it the moaning?
Yeah,
one?
the moaning one. Yeah.
Well, how's it get like?
We feel. I've not done this in fucking months. We feel like fucking moaning, and then the crowd goes every day.
Oh, you're getting me ready.
But like, there was crowd involvement and everything. It was fucking amazing. But the ego. I mean, the thing is though, like, I had ego after the gig. Until midnight hit, and I seen KRS-One play. It was one of the best gigs I ever saw. And I had like ego going on until I had to drive to work, which was 5 minutes. Because the gig finished at midnight, and I'd work at 4:30 in the morning.
Wow.
I was like, there's no point in me driving home because it's 45 minutes home, 45 minutes back to work. I was like, I'll just sleep in my car. So like, the ego was there until I drove to work and slept in a car. And then instantly just shot down. Like, yo,
KRS-One, like, in his beautiful like double decker. Like, blacked out windows, looks out the window and Sean in, what is it, a Punto or something?
just sleeping in the car waiting to go and deliver fruit and veg at 4:30 in the morning. I was like, that's definitely, that my ego was smashed at that point.
You need that in your life, mate.
You do. Wow. Yeah, a bit of like something to humble you a little bit. Do you know what I mean?
Did KRS-One speak to you? Did you actually get to see him?
No, man. Like, I was gutted as well because I was like really looking forward to it. But he had his like own sort of room.
Okay.
We met his DJ. Predator Prime, I think his name is. He was a really nice bloke. He came up to us after the gigs fair. I was like, mate, you guys are sick.
Oh, bless, man.
So that was real nice.
Oh, that is so, like, again, even though I want KRS-One, but people that are associated with, they know talent, they know cool. And if they come up and out their way to just go, that was sick, man, you guys are wicked. Like, so much respect for them people. Really do.
Definitely. It was a good experience. You know, it really was, like, really fun. And then seeing KRS-One was just... Like, the amount... Like, you think you're good on stage. You think you're good. Yeah. And then you see him and you think...
there's an energy.
Mate, there's an energy. Like, it literally just, like... I don't know. I can't even explain it. Like, but it was amazing. Like, I didn't even drink that night because I'd work. But I was fucking everywhere. Like, do you know what I mean? I was jumping around everywhere. It was just one of the best gigs I've ever been to.
I remember I did a gig in London and it was one of them, like, do you know, like, exclusives. I don't know how I found it.
Nice.
I really don't. But I found out like the month before, like, Ed Sheeran just turned up.
Yeah.
Like, and there's like 30 to 40 people. And the one month that I went, it was in, again, my sister came, the first gig she'd ever seen me at, and the Rizzle Kick was there. One of the Rizzle Kicks was there.
Nice.
And but he was doing a spoken word set, and he wasn't obviously in his like main field, so he's a rapper really, and all the music style, singy stuff. So I did this poem, and because the Rizzle Kick was there, I was like, I'm gonna really like give it some here. But that really put me on my vibe. Like when I came off, and he came specifically up to me give me a hug and was like, brother, you're sick.
Oh.
I'll never forget this moment. And he was like, it was his first ever spoken word gig I was watching. Like, he was just sampling stuff out. And I don't know, like, I'll never go like, I was so much better than him. Because it wasn't in his field. Because it wasn't in his, like, what he specialises in. I was on that same platform, same level, because I've been doing it for years then. And I was just like, it felt amazing. I'll never forget, like, feeling like I was achieving in that moment. One of the Rizzle kicks genuinely came up, and he didn't need to. They don't need to go up to you unless they think you are decent.
Of course, yeah. They you know, like, when you're at that point, you don't have to make the effort to, you know what I mean? But when they do, it's
the
fucking...
thing is, like, it's good to... Tupac would say the opposite. Like, Tupac says, roll is something people play and model is something people make. Both these things are fake.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So he doesn't believe in, like, role models, but I do. Like, I kind of... Well, there's just people I look up to. Like this Mike Skinners. Of course, yeah. Like the Rizzles, like whoever. But the reason we do, we're not... like pedestaling them and just worshipping their egos.
No.
It's their passion. It's the thing that they can create so well is what we aspire to, or what we're inspired by.
Well, that's it. You know, like, I feel like sometimes people can look at a role model and think that's what you base yourself on. And that's not the case whatsoever. Like, I look, like, one of my favourite UK rappers is, you know, Verb T.
Yeah.
Like he's like the most honest person on a microphone. Like everything, like he talks about it, it's all truthful. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like everything. Like I did a tune, one of his biggest tunes, to be fair, actually, but called "Where You Find Me," and it's all about like him not wanting to go out and do loads of fucking cocaine and you know, all that, like, and like all about how he just wants to sit indoors and just play tunes and you know, and like all it's just so honest. And like I look up to him, and I do see him as, in a sense, a role model.
Yeah.
But it's not like I'm thinking I need to be like Verb T.
Yeah.
It's just someone that I look at and I think, what you do is amazing.
Yes, man.
Like, and what I do is different. Doesn't mean to say that it's, you know what I mean?
But there's
like,
attributes in that, skills in that I really appreciate. And I'd like in my own
you can take
game.
from it what you like.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you can look at it and think, okay, you know, like, and inspiration's different to copying.
Yeah, that's it, man. And,
you know?
And yeah, you can really feel it in people then, like the people that have just tried to imitate their favourites.
Exactly.
Without calling it.
Yeah.
You know when that's happening.
Of course,
you're just like,
yeah.
There's kind of a thing in spoken word where people have adopted this voice, and it's just the spoken word voice.
I think when I hear it, I'll know what you mean.
You know it. I'll play you one inside. I'll play you. Some examples of it. But
I've been to many open mics. I think I know it when I hear it. Yeah.
But the ones for me that I love are just the people, they come on and they just do their accent, their voice, their speaking, like, and you just feel it. And again, they've taken bits out of artists that they like, and they've implemented it, and they've tried out, and they've sampled. But it's so much healthier to see somebody do them on stage.
Exactly. Yeah.
But we've all had to go through identity of it because we've all started from somewhere.
Yeah. Where do you fit within it?
Yeah, mate. Do you know when I started doing the rapping thing? Honestly, the only things I know about rapping was like Americans, because like the Eminem days and all stuff like that. So put me on a beat and I was like, oh shit, spoken word out the window. Now I'm rapping to the Charlie, why am I talking like this? Just talk normally. I'm like, and now we sing it. I can't stop it.
I remember once actually when we had for like a couple of month period, we had every Friday we did a session in Sheffield studio where there was like 4 or 5 different rappers who were based in Sheffield would all come in and just write together and try and get an EP down or whatever. And there was a hook. I can't remember what it actually was, but I remember it said spit, rhythm and rhymes. And when I was recording it, I couldn't say it.
Yeah.
And I kept going, spit, rhythm and rhymes. It was like in a really American voice. And everyone was pissing themselves at me. I was like, I can't say it. Like, why can't I fucking say it?
It's mad.
Like, I literally come off the mic and go, spit, rhythm and rhymes. And then go, spit, rhythm and rhymes on the mic. I'm like, for fuck's sake.
I think that's why I've just do the spoken word over music now.
It works though, man. Like I think you've implemented it and you have switched it up in a way, haven't you? But like I feel like it does work really well.
I do appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
But again, it was for so long just trying out different approaches and couldn't get to that point without all the rest. So that's why I like putting it up. That's why I like creating stuff, putting little imprints of you out and then being like, that's where I was. Like, not, oh God, I never want to get to there again. It's just like, oh, bless. There's a part of the journey.
Yeah. I mean, I do it. And I look, you know when you're first starting out and you're putting like these camera phone videos on Facebook?
Yeah.
Like, I looking back on my old ones and I was like, some of them, to be fair, I was like, hey, oh.
Yeah.
You fucking
There's
what?
something in this.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Like, I remember there was one where I was just like doing constant double time.
Okay.
And I was like, I fucking could not do that nowadays. Like, there's one like that. And then I look back on one and then, it's funny enough, actually, about 3 months ago, I built on it, and then I like managed to get like this like really ridiculously fast thing down for probably about, I think, 8 or 12 bars.
Yeah,
and I was like, what the hell? Like,
did you just pick it? How did you write that? Was it like in what's the word? Again, it would have helped if I just paid attention a bit at school for this. Syllables and things, like, were you working in that?
I think with it, like, I don't know, like how I write double time, it's like sort of like you figure out like what syllables you're really good at saying.
Yeah,
like, there's always certain syllables, like your D's, P's, all the S's suck for double time in my opinion.
Right,
like, because an S is a bastard, whereas a D and a P really pops off your tongue like that. Do you know what I mean?
Because you're like beatboxing with it, aren't you?
Yeah,
like,
pretty basically, yeah. So, and then like M's and N's and stuff I can do quite well, and B's, like all the ones that pop off your tongue, like and like they're really good for double time because it's like I feel like it hits really well and
adds
it smacks.
to the song, doesn't it? Yeah. It really adds to it.
So, but like S's and stuff, like I mean, don't get me wrong, people who are really good can do it. Like you've got like obviously Ocean Wisdom, he's amazing at doing that, and then like Gift of Gab, like I don't know if you've ever heard them.
No,
honestly, like double time wise, they're amazing. So,
and these things that you knew before going into rap and things, like, were you pretty to this, or did you discover it on the way? I mean,
to be honest, like even now, like if someone hits me with certain like sort of like I don't know, like rap, what's the word? Like, it's hard to explain. Like, like politics, like sort of like, like what were you saying earlier about
lingo?
Yeah, like rap lingo. I don't know what Triplets was about fucking 6 months ago. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just write and see what happens and get creative.
Well, that's the thing for me. Like, again, I feel like I'm very lucky because I'm not rhythmical, but also the things I write down, the sentences, because I just write a sentence, and at the start I was just like writing and then rhyming with the end, like a couplet. Yeah. But the things within it would actually accidentally work. Do you know what I mean? Like, I wrote 2 lines, and I just thought, here's a line, rhyme, here's a line, rhyme. Then I look back at the work now, and even though they're kind of simple, there's still rhythm in there by accident that I didn't know about.
Exactly.
Were you similar to that?
Yeah, very much so. I didn't really understand, like... And there were people that talked to me about my writing and they'd say certain like words and like sort of, and I'd be like, I don't know what that is. Like,
well, thank you.
Cheers.
I've always thought that.
I just nod med and go, yeah. I ain't got a fucking clue what you're talking about, mate. But in actual facts, you are doing it. Do you know what I mean? Like, and it's like you were saying with inner rhymes. Like, you've got your general rhyme pattern, and then within your bar, you've stuck into that rhyme, and it's great. But like, you don't understand that you're doing it. You just do it.
It's again, like, for one of the first songs for me was like the Knife Crime one.
Yeah.
And the 2 lines there, like the first bit's like, it was Saturday night and they're out in the town. They got to the pub and they knocked a few down. The town and down. But in between all that, like, I looked at it the other day. I was listening to the song.
Yeah.
It's like, if you go, it was Saturday night and like Saturday. Do you know what I mean? You can start colloquialism, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or turning it into your accent and stuff as well.
Yeah.
When I perform it now, I go with that knowledge. So instead of just reading a poem, you turn it into a performance then.
Yeah.
But the words that I've chosen actually, luckily, like, work for that. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
to you?
definitely. Yeah. I mean, like, things is that you can go like sort of almost deeper. Like, as you say, it was Saturday night.
Yeah, it was Saturday night.
Like, this, I've started looking at this recently actually because like, I've noticed with the way that I'm writing, like. As you go Saturday, you don't pronounce your T's. Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday.
But you go Saturday. I've started pronouncing my T's as D's, so it's Saturday. Like, but it works with that. It doesn't work with Saturday. That's a shit example.
I know exactly what you're getting at.
Like, there's certain the words that I'm using that I don't pronounce the T because it sounds too harsh.
Yeah, yeah.
But if you put a D in there instead, it sounds way better.
Yeah,
Saturday was a terrible example.
No, I know exactly what you're saying.
But like, and it's like stuff like that. Like you missed the T, like you missed the T on your Saturday.
Yeah.
Like and like I've really started with him writing. I'm trying to look at little things like that as well. It's stuff that the listener doesn't tend to really notice in a sense.
Yeah, yeah.
But it makes it whole.
And then easy and comfortable to listen to.
Yeah.
Like even that there, like the concept album with Mike Skinner, they're all, every word you know what he's saying.
Yeah.
Every emotion you feel and all the imagery is so easy to get. Like there, like it's Saturday night, okay, you're out in the town. Yeah, I'm from Ripley, I know that.
Yeah.
I'm in with it. And probably like a Mike Skinner, dry your eyes, mate. But like
beautiful.
when he's talking about that, every lad in the universe like who's been out with a girl and had a breakup can relate because everything he's saying is just to the T, simplistic but also emotive and also very imagery based, like
relatable.
And it, like that bit where he's like people talk about swearing, like, oh, people over swear and stuff, but there's some times where swearing is perfect.
Oh, yeah.
And I love that bit where it's like, I'm not just going to fucking leave it all. And he doubles up with it, though. I'm not just going to fucking leave it all now. You said we'd be together and that was your vow.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that is, it's literally like bam, bam.
I think the thing with swearing is you put it in the right places.
Yeah,
like,
context.
You know,
context.
exactly. Like, you can't just go around fucking and shitting whenever you want.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's all about fucking, putting it where it needs to be. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't really, like, swear much. I'm trying to think of bars where I do swear. I can't really think of any.
I've had bits where I'm like, didn't need to be a swear word there.
Yeah.
I wish Dan had done that. But again, you can change it in a live performance, but when it's out there in the internet world, like it's there. But yeah, there's times where people have said, oh, I wouldn't have really swore here, or I wouldn't have done that. But I'm like, nah, it worked. That's what I wanted in that moment.
That's it.
It hit me like that, so it needed to be said like that.
Exactly. I mean, I get it. Like when I first started out there, I was just doing the camera phone Facebook shit. My uncle, like, it's fucking, he used to say to me, Sean, just don't swear. What are you swearing for? Like, I was like, well, what do you mean? Like, you know, if it gets put in, like, there's a reason it's there. You know, like, the thing with swearing is that it can be used very good for, like, emphasising something. Do you know what I mean? Like, fair enough, you probably lose a certain percentage of your audience by swearing.
And that's their fault, though.
Well,
if they're going to get offended, like, the thing is, like, I think honest, real, true discussions need to be had more with children or more with artists, more with people.
Massively.
And it's like everything we say is about context. It's about the situation.
Of course.
If you just bracket it, oh, he swore, I'm out. That's more to do with that other person who's been offended.
Exactly.
You should be allowed to use that part of vocabulary. There's some perfect times for swearing. Like somebody that never swears, there's this guy and he's really calm, really relaxed. And something happened. I can't honestly remember what it was, but he just went, fucking hell. Like, honestly, everyone died laughing. I was like, I think of it to this day and I'll start laughing out of nowhere. It's because it was unexpected, but in that moment, nothing better could have been said in that moment. And you've got to just have leeway and allowance. If you get offended by everything that just gets thrown at you, it's just not a world I want to be around and associated with.
Exactly, yeah. You know, I mean, don't get me wrong, there's certain times when being offended, it's fair enough.
Yeah.
You know, I get it. Right? Or maybe sometimes I don't, but, you know, like,
And respectfully, I won't use it in their surrounding.
No, exactly.
But if I've added it into my song,
it's your
don't get in
song.
touch with me and tell me not to do it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, let's face it, that's the problem with fucking social media, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know,
everyone's got an opinion.
It's giving everybody an opinion.
Yeah.
And the people
platform to voice it.
Yeah.
To.
And some folk don't half like to show it off and all. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, But I mean, swearing is, in my opinion, it's amazing. Like, I love doing it.
I'm thinking of like my favourite comedians in the world.
Exactly.
So swearing.
And if they didn't swear, I'm sorry, but it probably wouldn't be half as funny.
It wouldn't.
Do you know what I mean?
It wouldn't be impactful.
Exactly.
Like, that's what swearing's there for, to cause impact. And if you're just using it all the time, you're taking away from that impact.
Exactly. I mean, there was a bloke, what's the comedian called? Steve Hughes, Australian bloke.
I know him, yeah.
Like,
I know him.
I think he was on about it. He was on about the topic of it, and he was saying about like people being offended by swearing and all that. I think that was the topic.
I bet at the end of it, he just went, "Fuck you."
Yeah. Well, he literally, I just remember him going, "But everyone's offended by it." And he was like, "But if you're offended, so what?
Yeah.
Nothing changes.
Yeah.
You're just offended. Like, nothing's changed."
Ricky Gervais talks good on this, like, offence.
Yeah. Like, the only person that it's switched up on is you. And you're doing harm to yourself by being like.
Yeah.
And there's some topics where offence is going to happen, like in a sense of like where it's justified is more the word I'm after, like you know, like obviously like there's, you know, a lot of things that happen where it is well justified for people to be massively offended by this sort of stuff, but little things like this, it's not justified. It's a choice that a person makes, not
necessarily justified. But then again, Ricky Gervais talks on this front, like again, if you're offended in that joke and you want censorship over this certain criteria and topic,
where does it end?
It's going to just carry on forever. Like fat shaming to women to men to you've got to build platforms and spaces that are okay to talk about taboos and about things that, if you're going to a gig and you've got all this armour up already and you know you're going to a comedy gig,
you're losing straight away.
You shouldn't be in them environments.
No.
You can't be there, because it's wrong for you as a person to be laughing at somebody else's misfortunes until it hits your sore spot.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't laugh at this and this, and
then decide that topic
and
is not
suddenly,
good.
Even as harrowing as it is, or whatever the topic is, I'm sorry, but that's the creative license that we've got as artists, or comedians have got, or singers have got, rappers have got.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Frankie Boyle.
Yeah,
people go to his shows.
Yeah, to let out steam.
Exactly, to see this stuff to hear this stuff that never gets said.
Yeah,
like never.
And it shouldn't in a classroom, and it shouldn't in a work environment. There's lots of places where, again, you don't know who you're around, who you're talking to, and context. Like, it doesn't belong in certain places, but we have to have spaces where we can.
Exactly.
Like, started going into rap then. You're giving me that vibe, Sean.
Honestly, I tell you, I feel like you need these creative spaces. You know, you need to be able to leave these places. Definitely.
And honestly, mate, I've got a whole list and array of what we need to go down for you, but I want to do this again because I need a wee very badly. Just so everybody knows.
All right, that's cool.
I need the bathroom, but I thought, you know, actually, where we could go with this is quite endless.
Yeah, probably.
Because I think we should get this track done.
Yeah.
And then talk about the track and start going like, I want you, would you come back? Are you happy?
Of course I'll come back.
You're so good, man. I love it. I think you should do your own little podcast.
I don't know about that. I'll host this one with you. I'll sit on the other side of him.
Yeah. We'll just interrogate people together.
I'm down with that. That sounds good.
Where can people find everything, man?
Well, at the moment in time, you can find me on Instagram, solo_Sean Day. Facebook, obviously, just Sean Day. And then look out for music coming out over the next 2 months, because I will be starting up again after my 7-month break.
Wow.
So, yeah.
And if you want to catch him on the Old Farm Bus, he has been on here and done a bit with Stinger and the J.
Yeah, maybe there'll be a performance that might come up soon enough.
There's a performance on there, actually. Have you seen it? The one on YouTube. We put one up with Sean on.
I watched the whole thing, actually.
Oh, yeah. It was great. So Sean's on there. You can check it out. But guys, this guy, you are honestly incredible at what you do. I'm so happy you went down that path. You've found your passion and run with it, man, because you're doing so good.
Yeah.
And you found that space again where it's come back to the enjoyment. You're making it.
Exactly.
You're making it because you're creating it, brother.
Yeah, man. No, lovely. Well, thank you for having me on, Mikey. It's been a pleasure.
And thank you for all being there and watching and being along with the journey. So you've been a part of the Old Farm Bus, Back of the Bus sessions. You know where to find Sean Day. He's an absolute champion. I love you all. Peace out, guys. I need a wee.